turn towards the tower. Go ahead and turn towards the tower now.
Still don't see the tower.
You're right off your nose, right above those trees. So
I
see all the buildings
got
to the right?
Yeah, I got it. Just barely see it peeking up there.
We're at 3 miles, so this is a good 45 entry right here. We'll turn around, show you my map.
Now we're dropping at 500, we're at...
So go ahead and add your power back in, right? Get us back to that 2200. So if you don't do it quick, you're going to lose, right? So get nose of the horizon, power to that 2200. Beat off. Hey, well, we need more power. We need to go up 300 RPMs. More right there. Alright, so go ahead and make a right-hand turn, get into the downwind. And tower, November 8607 uniforms, just entering midfield left downwind.
Cessna 07 uniform, wind 220 at 5, runway 17, cleared to land.
Seems like we're too...
17 cleared to land, can we get the option for 8607 uniform?
Cessna 07 uniform, absolutely, runway 17, clear for the option.
17 clear for the option, 8607 uniform. Okay, so you're a little bit far away, but you're okay. Look at the orientation to the runway to us. So, okay, so, and you're a little bit low. So let's do this real quick because you're fast. So let's climb, use that to bleed off your power, right? Get us to right here. Okay, and there's 100. Right. Let's hold us here for a second. Right now, what I want you to do is, okay, checklist. So I'm going to walk you through it here, right?
Okay,
Gas, undercarriage, mixture, lights, everything's in.
Yep.
Okay, set power, go ahead and pull carburetor heat. Okay, set power to 1700. Okay, add in 10 degrees of flaps. And trim us for 90 knots. Now once we get past this road, go ahead and make checks. We're a little bit far away, so I'll make our base turn right here. Okay.
Got the airplane?
You're going to have it. Go ahead, get on the controls.
Right.
I'm just going to shout at you here. So base turn here, or are we at 90?
We are
us
at
for 90. Once we get on base, get us 20 degrees of flaps, okay, and get us trimmed for 80 knots. So watch just how we did the rectangular, right? Remember what the wind's going to do.
Right.
So you got to have your nose a little bit closer towards the runway.
Right.
Go ahead and add in 20 knots, and we're going to look for about 1600. So pull that nose up a little bit, get us to that 80 knots. Hold us at 80 knots. And if we're not descending where we need to, then we'll adjust our power, right? Now we're a little bit close in, but that's okay. Okay. So final's clear, everything's full forward. Okay, pull power off. Off. We're way close now. So there's 80. Just slow here. I'm just gonna do a little. There's 70. Okay. So trim us. Okay, we're gonna go full flaps here. Power's all the way off, right? So let's get slow. And let us descend right there, 70, okay? Just keep us at this.
So are you shadowing me or are you flying?
So go ahead, you're yes, now keep us, bring it back to the right, keep us on the low. Okay, so get ready, we'll get ready to do a go around here, okay?
Right.
So when I tell you to, just start to add in power, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so add in power. Okay. Stay here, right on the horizon, right?
Right.
Okay, what do we do with the flaps?
Flaps 10 degrees out.
Hit 10 degrees of flaps up. Okay, are we building speed?
Yes.
Okay.
We're at 80.
Let's stay on the runway, so use aileron here, back over here to the right.
Right.
Good, and then use the rudder to keep us perpendicular down the runway. Okay, as we climb now, let's go ahead and take out our flaps in increments, and our carburetor is coming.
Cessna 07 uniform, are you remaining in the pattern?
Yes, sir. 8607 uniform.
Cessna 07 uniform, right close traffic approved.
Right close traffic, 8607 uniform.
And flaps all the way out?
Okay, flaps all the way up and climb at 80. Okay, right rudder, lots of right rudder. Right rudder. A little bit more right rudder, there you go. There you go. And get pitched up for 80 knots, okay? So get us to that, we're at 200, we need to get to about 800 feet before we make our turn to the right. So we gotta climb. So get her pitched up. Keep your hand on that throttle the whole time. Okay, start to make a right-hand turn now. Clear to the right.
Right-hand turn.
That climb going, so keep it 80 knots. If you're faster than 80, you're not climbing good enough. All right, because we got to get up to traffic power altitude. So don't make us over too far. There you go. Now just point us out to the west and climb us and look back at your orientation to the runway. Okay. There's 1,000. Make a right turn to the downwind. Once we get to that 1,200, lead that rollout right and set your power, right? There's 100. We're just a little bit low still, so let's get a little bit higher, right? Okay, we're lined up here. So look out here to the runway, there's 1,200, so get us nice and level. Okay, set your power. What do we need our power at? 2,200?
Yep.
Just set it. Don't baby it, just set it right there. Okay? That was a little too much. Good. We need to right about there.
Cessna 07 uniform, runway 17, clear for the option.
Runway 17, clear for the option. 8607 uniform. Okay, so look out at the runway and look at our distance. So learn what that judgment is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right at 100. So real quick, I got the airplane for a second. Do the pre-landing flow. So gas.
Gas.
Full. Okay.
Mixture full red.
Lights are on.
Lights are on.
Okay. Where's our landing point?
Our landing point is the stripes before the 17.
Okay, that's our aiming point.
Well, that's our aiming point.
The landing point's going to be probably the other markers, right?
Right.
So as we come up beam that, okay, go ahead, that's set power to 15. So carburetor heat on.
Carburetor heat on.
I'm going to run the yoke here for a minute.
Hey,
set it to 17, put in 10 degrees of flaps.
17.
1700, put in 10 degrees of flaps.
Okay, 10 degrees.
Okay, now what speed are we looking for?
Right now, we're
looking... just shadow the controls here for a minute? We're looking for 90, right?
Right, 90.
And we're pretty close to being trimmed for 90 already.
Right.
So now what am I looking for? How do I know
we want to be 45 degrees off of that corner, which is more or less right off the tail.
Yeah, so we got a little ways here to go. We're at 90 knots, right? Are we descending?
Oh. We are a little bit, 200.
So we're a tad bit high, so we're okay, right? So we're going to get just a bit further out.
1,200 there.
Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's make a right-hand turn, okay? A little bit of right rudder when we do that. Keep that nose point out, right? You don't want to lose speed. At 80. Once we get beam, then add in 20 degrees of flaps right away, okay? Look out here for your runway so you know where to get lined up at.
Okay, got the runway.
Okay, so add in your 20 degrees of flaps. And now make a judgment call on our speed, right? We need to be at 80 knots. So let's pull off 100, let's get to 1500 on the RPMs. Yeah, hold it right there. Now, right there, look, we're at 80 knots, right? So trim that, get that set so it's nice and easy. Final's clear, right? One last gas, undercarriage, make sure everything's ready. So I got to go around, I'm just doing carb heat, right?
Right.
Power. Okay, so make a turn onto the final. And then this time we're only going to put in just the next 10 degrees of flap, so we're going to go to 30 degrees of flap. Watch that rudder. What are we shooting for now? So add in your 30 degrees of flaps, okay? And now this time keep us perpendicular right on that runway, okay? I'm going to adjust your power. So we're pitching for 70 knots, right? So you pitch for 70, I'm going to use now power to control our descent. And we're to the left of the runway, so we got to get back to the right. Nice and easy on the controls. You should be trimmed up. You should barely be having to touch those things. If you need to trim it up, get us trimmed to 70 knots. No, 75, that's good right there, actually, that's really good. See that, those markers, see how they're really not moving?
Yep.
Once you see them start to descend a little bit, we'll add just a touch of power, okay? So see how you're coming off to the right? You're being blown off to the right, so which is okay. See the flag is really nice crosswind here. The short final, gas undercarriage, mixture rich, everything's full forward. So a little bit more to the right, a little bit more to the right. Don't let us get too slow, keep us coming down right at that 70 now, we're short final. Yeah, and we're gonna do another low approach here, so get to the right, get us right on the center line.
Aurora tower.
Don't pitch up, don't pitch up. Just keep us level now. I'm going to add some power, keep us low, don't let us descend. Okay. So right here.
Runway 17, I have information.
I just want you to feel, come back over here, right? Aileron to get back on the center. Right? Right. Stay on the center. Right. Rudder to keep us perpendicular. Okay. Right. You feel what it takes to keep us there. Right. Right. You're pulling. You're really tight on the controls. Be really light. Okay. Okay. So if you have to be tight, you got too much trim. Right. 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 So just keep us, see we're a little bit right aileron, okay, not too bad. Okay, so we're going to go full power, right? Right. Nose to the horizon, right? What are we going to do with the flaps?
10 degrees out.
10 degrees out, right? So there's 10 degrees out. Let's get the airplane flying, right? So what speed are we at?
Right now, we're at 80
knots. So, right, so let's climb up here, right? A little right rudder, right, as we climb. Okay, and we can climb at what speed?
80.
RV5 Echo Mike.
Or we can actually climb at 66, right, to get us some altitude, and then we can lower to 80. So now let's go ahead and pitch down and look for about a 75 knot, roughly climb. We got to get some altitude to start with, right?
All right. Well, we're at 75, right? Yeah.
And we're going to bring out 10 more degrees of flaps. All right, we're still climbing. Staying on that runway heading. Good. And 10 degrees more. Okay. So now get us trimmed up, climb us at 80 knots, okay? When you see that altimeter get to 800 feet, make a right-hand turn, okay? And get us on the crosswind. Don't get too fixated on these instruments. Really look outside, right? What you know where to put the nose. Just look outside and put the nose there.
Right. Got it.
You got to look at where you're going and where you're doing, because you get too fixated. That's how we get turned and stuff, right? So good. So we'll make a turn. Look to the right. You got to get a little of that right rudder in, right? Because we're climbing. Get those turning tendencies. This is where you get cross coordinated. See how you're turning back to the left, but you're using right rudder. That's how you get cross coordinated. So lift the swing. Where are we at? Look at that. Boom.
Nice.
All right, we're climbing. We only got 100 feet to go, right? So now we're going to make a right-hand turn, and as we do that, make a right-hand turn to get in the downwind, and watch your altitude. So as we come up, you're going to need to lower this nose, okay, and keep the nose lowered until we build to 100. Once we're at 100 knots, set your power. Watch that rudder. Watch that rudder. Just stay coordinated. There you go. There you go. Now look out on the horizon. See that building way out there? So hold this right here. Set your power. So we're getting fast. Set your power. Okay, right there, a little too much. So about 100 more, 100 more. About 100 more faster.
Okay. Oh, 100 more.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted me out 100 more.
So look way out here on the horizon. Find something to keep your nose on, to keep that distance now. Okay, you have the airplane.
I have the airplane.
All right, so get trimmed, get perfectly trimmed so you're barely touching this thing. And then run your pre-landing checklist.
Okay, pre-landing checklist. Landing light on. Lights on.
Lands up there.
Skylane, correction, Cessna 707 uniform, unable stop and goes. All other options approved. Runway 17, clear for the option.
Unable stop and go, other options approved. 8607 uniform.
Fuel on both, carb heats on. Mixture to full rich.
Okay, so here we are, beam our touchdown point. So set your power, 1700. And 10 degrees of flaps, pitch for 90 knots, right? So you don't want to descend yet. We want to lose speed first. So hold your altitude, get to that 90 knots, and then pitch to hold. Does that make sense?
Skylane 7565 X-ray or tower, right traffic, runway 1743
miles. Not too aggressive. Just let it, now get it nice and set. Trim it up so you're at 90 knots, so you're barely touching it. Okay, let's make a right turn to the base.
RV5 Echo Mike, make a right 360 for sequencing.
That nose pitched.
RV365.
Gotta look out here, start picking up your runway. Okay?
Right.
So don't stare at this stuff, only stare right here. Your power's set, right? If your pitch angle's right and your powers are set, your speeds are pretty good. So get yourself nice and perpendicular to that runway. Remember, you're gonna get blown away, so your nose, if anything, needs to be pointed more towards the runway than anything. Okay, now get 20 degrees of flaps in. And get to that 80 knots. So that's good. Roll it right here. Roll it. Just add that 20 degrees and get to that 80 knots. We're a little bit fast, come to 1500. Good. Okay. A little bit close there, so we're going to make our right hand turn. Look for final, turn on final. So that right rudder, remember right rudder. Watch the ball, there you go, get centered. And remember the winds are pushing you off to the right, so right. Okay. And now, okay, let's set in 30 degrees of flaps. And look for 75 knots, just like you did before.
75, right?
So you're a little bit. So I got the power now. You got that. You keep us on the. You keep us online. Okay. A bit slower than 75. But don't be pitching up. Just if anything, we'll add power, right? So.
Right.
So get us back to the right. Okay, we're kind of getting in a high nose. We really want to be pointed down. There you go. Right at that point. So we've got a little bit, so there. I'll keep us at that 70, okay? So, come in, get us back on that runway. Okay, so I'm on the controls now with you. Okay.
Yeah, the controls.
There we go. Okay, we're all the way up the power this time, okay? Okay, so hold us like this. Okay.
Tower, RV 365 Echo Mike, entering runway 17.
Yep. Go ahead, full power.
RV 5 Echo Mike, thank you, sir. Number 2, follow citation on a 4-mile final.
5 Echo Mike, roger. Number 2 behind the citation.
Aurora Tower, citation 690 Whiskey Yankee, that's probably us lining up straight in.
Not too bad.
17.
Citation 690 Whiskey Yankee.
Alright, so you got the airplane?
Straight in runway 17.
Hand on throttle.
Runway 17, clear
climb out at 80, climb out at 80 and keep us on that center line.
Cessna 07 uniform, make left close traffic.
07 uniform, left close traffic for Cessna 8607 uniform.
So left traffic this time?
Yep.
3.2 southbound.
Skyline 65 X-ray.
So remember, we're getting pushed that way by the wind, so...
Yeah.
There you go, good. So when are we going to make our left-hand turn? At what spot?
Well, we're climbing out at 80, that's good. So it's 700 AGL, right? So which is about 900 feet.
About...
Oh, a little windy.
I'd say somewhere around that 800 foot mark is when you can make your turn.
Okay.
Remember, if we don't climb at VX, we're just getting farther and farther away because of VY speed, right? So
right.
Just kind of that balance. So there you go. So there's 800. Go ahead and make your left turn. Look outside. Look outside. Remember, you got right rudder in to keep your nose. So you a little bit now. Just let out the rudder a little bit as you make this left turn. Keep that climb coming. And once you get kind of perpendicular to the runway, get those wings level and look and check your lineup.
RV 5 Echo Mike, number 2.
Okay, so where do you want to turn downwind now?
Caution wind turbulence.
Well, again, when I look back, it should be right at that
window post. Right here, you want to be about a mile away, right? So go ahead and turn left here. Look, what do you have below you? The town. Choose the town as the marker here.
Skyline 65 X-ray, number 3. Follow RV opposite downwind, turning a wide left base.
Look at traffic, we're number 3, 65 X-ray.
Coming up on your 1200s.